Bringing salutations, good day and highs, guys and gals, and welcome back to CorpoCar World Series Season 7. We have rounds 4 through 6 for today. We have a double round taking place on the streets of San Francisco. One clockwise, one counterclockwise. And we'll also have round 6 taking place at World Wide Technology Raceway near St. Louis, because we apparently we don't go there much. Apparently that's not too much. We're racing over there anyway. Let's have a look at the points as they stand. Haley Sonono of V4 Mirai, 183, 63 ahead of BNU's Mivi Ivory, 120. BNU's Mesmerizing, 110, and then we have two drivers each at 109. Race winners Kiri Kilovolt and Sarah Luceria, both of below B. But Volti has a tiebreaker due to a higher finish. That's your top 5 as they stand, but there's still plenty more action to come. There's still 12 more rounds of action to get through as we have a look at the Table 2, the bottom half of the table. So we have 5 drivers yet to get on the board, 2 of which we have yet to see qualify for a race. Hopefully today we will see action from Snoozy Chu. Was probably too snoozy to race last night, maybe today. And then we also have a no-go as of yet for Shibby Cotton Bum. Anyway, Adak's gonna join shortly. It's a bit late getting into the action. We'll hear from him in a bit, but first let's get right to the action for the first rounds for today. Hello everyone, welcome. If you're just joining in the live chat, I see a couple of people in the live chat ready to go here. So, you probably know what's going on next weekend. It's another edition of the OffKai Expo, the annual event that's too far away for me to attend because I live in the United States Midwest, in the middle of nowhere, in a nice, comfy barnyard. I would probably set up a Patreon or a GoFundMe so I could go to one such edition one time, but that's probably just cheating. Anyway. Yeah, OffKai is in San Jose, but we'll be somewhere just a bit north of that in San Francisco. We're using the grid layout for 2 rounds, 3.267 miles, 5.258 kilometers. Yeah. I am aware there is a San Jose street circuit used in Champ Car for a couple of years. It's a very short layout, like 1.2 miles. I don't think it'll fit a grid of 36 drivers. But it can fit, certainly can fit 30, as I've used it in IndyCar and base car, excuse me. But anyway, the usual settings, as you see here. Let's go ahead and load. Yeah, we're using the full Grand Prix circuit layout here. And let's have a look at qualifying. Along with Utahime Mochizuki of Specialite, who was very close at winning Worlds last December. So first you go around this difficult hairpin turn. The start, I expect, is going to be rife with chaos. Yeah, San Francisco, known for being quite hilly and stuff. Yeah. And due to its being close to the San Andreas Fault, I believe. but this is a nice challenge for these CorpoCar drivers. We went there before, years ago, for Formula Hollow, back in the old R Factor 1 days. And we're back here with CorpoCar drivers, going into an uphill climb. Quite a bunch of nice 90-degree turns. And then you turn right here. And a downhill drop this time. And then down here. Oh, look at that pyramid building in the background. Run through the Chinatown. And a couple more turns. Getting back onto the pier. And a sprint to the finish, and yeah, that's it. That's a lap here. Just hopefully you survive the start, and then you're basically got 21 minutes to get through this race. Anyway, grid of 36 cars coming in. Oh yeah, yeah, we may have to change to a new car for Formula Hollow in 2026 besides the FW31. And we're gonna re-roll that. Let's see. Alias didn't qualify. Neither did Ormoria nor Nikki Ray. So we'll have to take them out, I'm afraid. And for the fourth round running, Snoozy Chew doesn't qualify for a race. Probably not an early morning girl either. Ooh, Tomoe and Volti missed out. And same for Roa. Oh, dear. And, well, look who just joined the commentary. It's a good old Adak. Hello.
Yeah, good morning to everyone. I'm literally stopping at a nearby McDonald's for this. I'm literally making my trip south, down south from the interstate. Anyways, Dag, just wanted to check because your OBS isn't connected.
OBS isn't connected? Yeah, I have, yeah, I have the camera on, ready to go when you're here. So.
All right, I'm already here. So,
okay.
anyways, looks like this is an interesting sight to see. We just finished up the qualifying thing, and you know, everyone having the same times here, up until 9th place Akugaki Koa, yeah, who sets a 1:44.649. And congratulations to Lunette for her pole position here in the San Francisco Grand Prix circuit, which is apparently based on the grid. Ruby Runehart second with Mayfei third, Imibisu fourth, Omo fifth with Yukime sixth, Pariah seventh with Daisy Dandelion eighth, Koa ninth, and the first driver outside of 1:44.639, Buddy Barkswell in 10th in Globy. Taka Toragami in 11th with Ivory in 12th, Terra 404 in 13th place. And then going down to the rest of the field, Minya Scott, Utaimi Mochizuki, Ivory Verdis, Maeve Morferen, Koma Obo Hysteria, and Leah Asima make up the top 20. And then going down with running for the 20th, it's Asimov Modiste with Stimpak with Poco Raccoon. And then we got Reina Ronronea, Yae Yogiri, and Kiri Speak Up. They make up between 20th and 26th. And then coming down to 27th onwards, it's going to be a Shabal Tanya, Eliza, EVE, Sarah Luceria, Mesmerizing, and making up the 27th, 30th. And then coming on to the last 6 spots, Kokone, Majoko, and then Kumanui Miel, Koni Confetti, Rara Rakora, and Herring Hu make up the last cars on the grid. Well, we gotta have to press F for the 37, 38, 39, 40, around 18 cars that didn't make the field. Let's press F.
Yes, I will do so in the chat right here. Okay, I did so.
All right, let's get this race underway. We've already finished up the qualifying. You know, we're racing on these fantasy tracks here, and as with all road courses or street circuits, the walls are always coming up at you, so you better be aware of your surroundings. Kind of like Jolyon Palmer, and also kind of not like Jolyon Palmer. But anyways, we are going to welcome Lunette on pole position. Let's see how the race goes. Dak, let's hit the race button.
Yes, let's do so. Music up, and hopefully it's not too loud. Oh, it's a bit too loud. Okay. Here we go.
Oh yeah, let's go. All right, so okay, Dak, your call.
Yes, here come the 4 red lights, and here come the chaos.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what happens in the turn 1. We already have a few cars running across the wall. Everyone seems to be okay for now as they all come into turn 1. Oh, and already we have, that looks like Yukime making a flip over into outside it, and also Yugiri Imibiso. Actually, these 2 cars are going to be your first casualties in this chaotic race. You called it, Dak.
Yeah, I did test racing a couple nights ago, and of course the race start wasn't clean, so yeah, so I predicted there would be chaos, and yeah, there is. Yep, and there's unsurprisingly a few drivers without front nor rear wings. Very good start for Rina Lunette of Stellarverse Pro, followed by Mayfei of Aegis Link, and Tomomi Taraya of V&U.
And anyways, we're coming into the first minute already in this race, and what an interesting trackside camera that we're seeing here. Anyways, it is a very interesting feature here. Coming into this section of the track here, you're literally coming into what you call those uphill sections that you see on these West Coast streets here.
Yeah.
And it's all about you just trying to keep your car literally on the ground, especially on the downhill section here, because these cars are prone to having their cars fly off if they go way too fast. So they might actually have to be careful with their cars here. So if they don't have enough downforce, they may end up turning their cars into an airplane. You don't want that to happen. I mean, Mark Webber and those Mercedes guys in the Le Mans 1998 race proved to you that.
So Rina, Mayfei, and Tomomi, your top 3 after 1 lap, and expect to see a bunch of cars go into pits already. Not quite a good start for Sarah Luceria.
Oh yeah, I think it looks like the rear wing, I think, might be a bit bent. Yeah, the rear wing end plate is slightly damaged.
Yeah.
I also see damage on the right side pods. Already, this race having lots of fatalities, and here, as I said it, you saw here Rinra Ranonea having lost her front wing and her front left. Same goes for Leia Asimov. This race is taking no prisoners here.
The start-finish area quite tight, so watch out if you're driving with a whole bunch of cars together there. As we've already seen a few cars hurt right there.
Not just hurt, absolutely needing to be hospitalized here, if we have to use that term. But anyways, I just wanted to preface this by saying you need a high downforce car. Not because you want to be fast on the corner. Oh, watch out for Rina Ranonea though. She might be parked in that racing line. That might cause trouble for other drivers. But anyways, you need a high downforce car. Not because you need to tackle those corners, but you have this high downforce setup. Mostly because you just want to keep your car literally on the track, especially on the downhill straights. I mean, the elevation changes are very sudden. I mean, I've driven on these types of roads before, and you really don't want to have your 4 wheels lift off the ground, because if that happens, you even if you try to steer left or right, it just won't steer at all. And if you do too much steering, you're gonna end up in a spin, and then your car's gonna end up turning into an airplane anyway. So you're gonna have to be careful with managing the cars here, or rather managing basically having to handle your car around these tight sections here.
This is this is indeed not an easy track to race on, and it is early in the series, early in the World Series.
And speaking of which, just wanted to see some names that I've already missed out on this one because I don't see Elias Anono, the championship leader, in this race.
Volti also failed to qualify. Snoozy Chu DNQ for the 4th round in a row. Yep, total carnage here.
Yeah, an absolute big F here. I mean, anyways, let's dwell on that for later as we get to see some cars bunched up in front of Irie Viridis, who is currently running in 14th place. So you gotta need to watch out though on the top 10 situation here. Terra 404 looking to make a move against Stimpack. This is decent on board.
Yeah, well,
as you can see here,
downhill.
Yeah, this is downhill section that I'm talking about here. You need to have a lot of downforce here just to get, even with the amount of downforce, your car is going to keep go up in the air, and especially in the braking section, you might have to either brake early and have a better chance of making it, or try to go faster, or risk spinning out, because if you put the brakes in while your wheels are essentially up in the air, when you hit the ground, you essentially lose traction and immediately be into a spin, and then again, as you mentioned, you're gonna have your car turn into an aircraft. So you need to be careful on that. Anyways, looking back into the race here, it is pretty much spread out though for some of the drivers here who have already made their pit stops. And then we do have to see Lunette though having a very good run so far over Mayfei, but I feel like Mayfei is catching up slowly.
Big gap between 2nd and 3rd. Mayfei trying to go close to the SVP driver. Has to go uphill again.
Unfortunately, in this uphill section, you might even though you have to go a bit into a lift there, you're having to go into a bit of the air, you are going to get yourself back into it, and especially that the braking section is much shorter due to its uphill nature. But once you go into downhill here, these roads feel like a roller coaster, and that's Mayfei. Her front, or they have collided into some front wings. Unfortunately, these two are okay, but not Lunette though, who have lost both of her wings, essentially turning her car into a straight line rocket ship, but very poor in the corners. Not to mention being very prone to flying, if that's any worse. Actually, it is.
So Mayfei goes into the lead here. The former Indy, I believe, now member of Aegis Link, making her way past the pole sitter, who has to stay out. Really, she's staying out for another lap.
Well, she's turned her car into a roadster, that's for sure. A modern roadster at that. But anyway, we do have some other cars that are going to make way for Lunette, as she now finally understeers into the wall, has to brake there for good measure just to keep her car pointed in the right direction. And you can see here what lack of downforce does to a car, and Lunette is showing that to great effect.
Losing tons of speed here.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have downforce. You need downforce to carry a lot of speed in the corners, and without those downforce, you don't carry those speed in the corners. Your braking distances have to be way larger. Your cornering speed is going to be slower. It's basically impacting your performance all around in these closed circuits. But in a straight line, given enough length, you might actually make it.
Around 12 and a half minutes left. Anyway, what else might I see here? I think everyone is
Ruby
driving.
Runhart a lap
clean.
down already. Just noticed.
The cars popping up with these not a smooth downhill. It's just downhill and then flat and then downhill again. Careful about those turns.
I mean, that's just how those streets in the West Coast are built, especially near the coastline. I mean, if you're someone, and I think that's Lunette continuing on as usual,
man.
and hits Mochizuki.
Utahime.
Mochizuki, unfortunately, a victim to not exactly maybe some driver up in front. I think got even worse. I think it's Stimpak. I might need to check on these cars.
Stimpak.
But I think everyone is okay. I saw some front wings flying. I thought something happened.
Yeah, I don't see anyone having any issues here. I think everyone seems fine.
But right now we are just going to see Mayfei continue to be in control of this race. Lunette, she's a bit miffed or not of her race literally going wrong after starting from pole. But anyway, we still have a race to go. We're coming into the halfway stage here. I do also want to point out though that, man, these circuit designers are making very crazy decisions on the racetrack construction here, because if we come into the first sector here, coming into like sea level, as I like to call it, and even up here as well, I see the curbing there. They wanted to make sure that the curbing is more linear, so that's why they put on the curbs there. But originally, it's like a step up between the tarmac and the side curbing, so they tried to make it a bit more linear by adding another curb there. But you can see here, if you go to these curves, you might unsell your car, so you might need to watch where your car is and your throttle and brake input, so as to not literally put your car into a spin. And I'll tell you what, right now, this track really demands a huge amount of technicality. Meanwhile, we are looking at someone in the chat, Irie Viridis. Someone's cheering for Irie Viridis, and right now Irie is currently running in 11th, trying to break into the top 10.
Had a brief taste of the top 10 at one point, but she's currently where she is right now, just trying to keep alive here in this grueling, difficult street race.
And right now, it is going to be survival of the fittest. And right now, hits the wall for good measure, Irie Viridis, but hopefully the damage isn't too much. If it's IRL, where damage is 100%, you're absolutely going to destroy that suspension, and suddenly your car's not turning in the right direction anymore. But as long as you keep your car outside the walls, don't be inside those walls, you're gonna be fine.
Mayfei doing a very good job holding on to the lead after that blooper by Rena Lunette, who is currently way down there outside of the points, beside her 1 point per pole.
Runhart still.
You are breaking up, I believe?
Yeah, I am breaking up just a bit because I am trying to see if I can get my laptop plugged in and see if it's charged, because at the moment.
Anyway, I'm gonna try to keep the commentary a bit alive as we approach the 2/3 mark of this race. This is not the only San Francisco race we are having. We have another one going the other direction for the next round.
So we're basically racing the same circuit, but in a different direction. So this means, oh dear, twice the chaos in a single track. Can you imagine what's going on here?
Well, I
Anyways,
was able to get past Stimmy right here. So
as we noticed there. And right now, she is trying to make her charge back into Ivory, who is currently running in 9th. Remember, Lynette is currently a lap down after her kerfuffle with the walls. The walls finally got to her, unfortunately. But anyways, looking into another driver here, we have Luceria, who is currently running in 27, also not doing very good so far, but she is going to salvage some few points here. At least she's done what others did, especially for those who didn't qualify or didn't even make the race, or basically the round, and that's even running in the race, which at least guarantees to you, at least if you're running in 27th, 4 points. Gotta be in top 30 though.
Yeah, top 30 to avoid the potential curse. We're through 8 laps here as we have a look at the times as they stand, and less than 6 minutes to go now. Seeing 148s, 149s.
Oh, by the way, I'm just noted about the fun facts here about Stimpack. But now, outside of Stimpack, who currently competes in the, of course, in the CorpoCar series, where she is a part of, based on what I'm checking here, Glitch Stars. We also have the Stimpacks, which are essentially a Stim pack in basically games like StarCraft and Fallout, which is basically a type of medication. Some work like adrenaline, some act like healing and stimulants, essentially. So we can think of Stimpack as someone that heals. So let's see if she can heal her way into an even better position where she is right now. But anyways, we are looking at Mayfei though, who's having a pretty good race so far. Remember my motto about being in it to win it, and that's what Mayfei is doing right now.
A lead of a little over 5.5 seconds, but she is slowly approaching some traffic as we get back into the pier. Less than 5 minutes to go.
Mesmerizing. Yeah, mesmerizing. Not far ahead of Mayfei. Mayfei catching up to her at a rate of 9. You can see here coming into the after start finish line into the first chicane. It just shows you how little room you have. Oh man, yeah, Eliza and Rokora. Let's see if you can rewind this one. That's Rokora T-bone Eliza, and you can see here that's her, and actually collects Taring, who tries to get herself back into it. And also there's also Rokora, who also has sustained massive amounts of damage, so they are not going to continue now at any further. Oh, that's Eliza finally essentially restarting, or rather resetting herself. No, don't know you can actually do that.
Still alive. Still alive.
I'm not surprised. I'm just as surprised as you are. As you can see, Eliza trying to stay ahead of Tanya. I noticed there, Rokora is just going to make her way into the pits here.
And keep an eye on Eliza as well, as she also goes into hits as Tanya stays in the track. Yeah, I didn't look to press R there. Didn't press replay button.
Oh yeah.
Go here.
Speaking of which, Mayfei currently having a very good lead so far over the rest of the field here. Tomomi Toraya in second place, Akugaki Kowa in third. That's a very, very good gap here. That shows how good Mayfei is right now. I would reckon that if there wasn't that crash from, if I'm not mistaken, Ronronea, we could be seeing a very good tit for tat for the win here between these two, because these two are in a class of their own.
Indeed. Anyway, I got a word from Bruno saying that he got the BRC Ferrari F2007, so we are planning on scrapping the plans of using the Williams FW31 for Formula Hollow next year, because the templates are apparently way too complex to handle. So we're gonna make a switch over to a different car. a car that's 2 years older, but did win drivers and constructors championships in F1, and so we're dealing with yet another Ferrari to replace the F2004. So thus the F2007, I suppose.
Well, that's just A1GP. That's literally just A1GP, but you're actually using the F1 car. All things considered, I mean, it's been there since 2021, so that's a bit of a bonus here. Anyways, Towering Who and Mesmerizing are in their own battles here as we go on board here with Mayfei. Tomomi Toraya is coming into the mix here as Mayfei actually loses the rear coming into the exit of that corner. And that might open the door for Tomomi Toraya to catch up. And looking at the gaps, there was only like 4 seconds between the two.
Yeah.
It was like 6 seconds, but we'll see how much Mayfei is going to lose time here because I reckon that this next lap is going to be the last one.
It is going to be the last one. It's going to come down to 1 minute left. The flagman has the white flag waved here.
You see here Mesmerizing and Towering Who still on their own battles. So Mayfei trying to find a way to slice past them. Tomomi Toraya is chasing. The gap's now dropped down to 3.3 seconds already. Tomomi Toraya, I think, has been relayed over the radio to go. Make haste, because right now Mayfei is currently under traffic. She's currently very slow. Might we see a last lap pass? Oh, as Mesmerizing gets cleared by Mayfei, that's going to cause a bit of trouble there for Toraya, as Mayfei has a bit of a cushion.
Looking pretty good for the Aegis Link member in her first season in CorpoCar, along with the rest of the agency. We have Triggerfish finishing second at Daytona, and we have Mayfei potentially going one better in half a lap.
And you can see here Mayfei still actually staying ahead of Towering Who. It's just an issue of Mesmerizing literally not being up to pace. And you can see Tomomi Toraya on the background against Mayfei as they're now coming into one of the few sections left on this track here. There's still a long way to go in this race. Can Tomomi Toraya catch up?
I think Mayfei is a bit too far ahead for Tomomi to go near Mayfei. Going close to the pier and into the finish.
And right now Mayfei just needs to hold on.
And coming into the finish, and that's gonna do it. Mayfei wins round 4 in the first of 2 San Francisco races. Aegis Link has a CorpoCar World win, courtesy of Mayfei. Congrats.
And Tomomi Toraya, hats off to her. She did try to get herself into position, but it just wasn't meant to be. Mayfei just had the better race throughout. Tomomi Toraya also, kudos to her for trying as well. Akura Koa also completing the podium. That's a very, very great effort there from the Idle Corp.
Idle.
Yeah, from the Idle Corp driver. I'd say this is a very good result all around for the top 3, even though we already had some bit of carnage in the first few minutes of the race. I'm actually surprised by the amount of attrition that this race has.
Still a few drivers to finish. We have a few finishing 1 lap down, so a maximum of 27, finishing 12 laps. So Tanya is done. Go ahead.
Chitamo Omo, Connie Confetti, Lucerio, Oboro, Mercy Modista, and Towering Who yet to complete their run so far. So we are going to look at Towering Who is not far to go before she gets herself done. Mayfei is going to make her way into the pits. Towering Who will cross the line to officially make this race, well, official. But anyways, it's crazy though. 2 races in San Francisco, especially on the same track. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'll be as optimistic as possible here. As Towering Who comes into the pits, that should be the race over somewhat.
Yep. Gonna fast forward to wrap it up and call it here. And
All right.
gonna put in the I'm gonna update the medal counts quickly. Mei-Fei Tomomi is right here, and then Koa. Where is Koa? Okay.
All right.
And
As Dag is going to record the results, I'm just going to run out the results. Lumi Yukimi in 4th, Daisy and Lion in 5th, Media Scott 6th, Tiger Toragami in 7th, Hysteria 8th, Mimi I 49th. I already figured this good job for her to get into the top 10. Timing Mochizuki in 11th, Bonnie Barkswell in 12th, Stimpak stimming herself into 13th place. And scrolling down to the rest of the field, it is going to be it's going to be the likes of Maeve Morveren and then Kirspika, Terra 404, Mimi Majoko, Komamui Miel, Yurika Kokone, and Pokorakun in the top 20. Sabatonia just outside the top 20, which Tamu Omo not far behind Chapel. And then Hanukkah Ferry 22nd, 23rd, Central Serenade 24th, Como Oboro 25th, with Mercy Modiste in 26th place. And then scrolling down to the rest of the field, Towering 227, the last car on the lead lap, Mesmerizing, Ruby Runehart, Reno Lynette, and Rara Cora being the cars that are essentially still one lap down alongside Eliza. Raiden Ronronea, Lea Asimo, Ibizo, and Yei Yugiri essentially are the drivers who essentially DNF either through sheer accidents or just having a failed engine. Anyways, Dag, let's hit the pause button on the stream for now as we're about to get ready for the reverse layout of the San Francisco track. I'm going to order a cheeseburger.
Yes, I'm going to do so in a moment. First, I need to confirm the points and showcase who's leading after 4 rounds. Let's see.
And the results are going to surprise you.
Yeah, I need to confirm the points. Okay, 16 points. Okay, 18, 16. It's male, so 16 points for male. And that's the only fix I need to make. Bonus points. So Reina will just get 2 points for her efforts. That's 30th place and the bonus point for pole. And so how it stands, despite Alias not qualifying for this race, she still has the points lead. 183. Mivy second with her 9th place finish here. 154. Lumi Yukime third. 150. And 4th is now Mei-Fei. 130. And Sarah Luceria 5th with 116. That's your top 5 as they currently stand.
Right. All right. Just want to remind you again how good Eliza Nono has been on the first 3 races of the season. Average. I would say that her average finish is actually within 3rd place based on her average points scored. So I would say that Eliza Nono has done an absolutely amazing job, especially her win from pole position at Daytona. That essentially gave her a massive cushion coming into her DNQ in the first San Francisco race. Can't wait to see how the second San Francisco race goes. Anyways, I'm going to order a cheeseburger now as we're going to go into break.
Yes, take your time getting your cheeseburger meal at McDonald's, and we'll see you in a few minutes for the San Francisco B race, the counterclockwise race. It's going to stop the recording and start it again, and we'll see you in a few minutes for more CorpoCar action. All right, see you in a bit.
Anyways, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Alright, so we've seen how the San Francisco street circuit is raced clockwise. Let's see how it's raced counterclockwise. As we wait for Adak to finish his order. Same circuit as previous. So we don't need any further pomp and circumstance. We're just gonna hit the load button and get right to the action. Load! Anyway, the 24-hour game show marathon, it's starting in a little over an hour. Still got 2 races to get through. First, the San Francisco B race, and then the Gateway race, as we should see how this track is raced the other way around. So, maybe expect not as messy of a start here, but the area is a bit narrow here. This time you go through there, and then another 45-degree turn. Or maybe 135. I don't know. Or is it 45? I don't know. Anyway, you go uphill, turn 90 degrees, and continue to go uphill. And then another 90-degree turn, where you go downhill. Street circuits and their 90-degree turns. And speaking of, there's a couple more quick ones. One here and one there before you go into the tricky section of the track again. So I don't know what you call this section. But this is quite a technical area as you approach the pier again. And one more hairpin turn as you take a look at the Bay Bridge in the background. The Golden Gate Bridge is a bit of a distance around. But, yeah, Bay Bridge, you can tell that this is San Francisco. Oh, okay, we're past a lap here. Let's go ahead and set the grid for this race, I suppose. While we wait a bit more for Adak to finish his McDonald's order. And we're gonna re-roll. I'm gonna re-roll. And would we need to re-roll? I don't think so. Do we have a curse on hand? No curse here. No curse here as of yet. But for once, Snoozy Chew will qualify for a race! Who's Madame? Who's Madame? And, well, Alias, shockingly, doesn't qualify. Again. So that's 0 for 2 in San Francisco races for her. And okay. Oh, Shibby didn't qualify. Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to remind everyone that I'm back. Anyways, we got the qualifying session done, and unfortunately, we got Rena Renea, Honami out, Asimo off, Oboro off, with Cotton Bum off, May Marvera, Imi Biso from a DNF to a DNQ. Tomoe Umari joins them as well. Gorogalmi, Perry Winkleton. Those are your DNFing names, unfortunately. And with that out of the way,
Alias also didn't
we are
qualify.
just
Alias also didn't qualify.
not even a DNQ. I mean, she didn't even enter in this race, which is just insane.
Actually,
so we are going to see.
Actually, she all drivers entered qualifying. She just couldn't make the top 36 in qualifying.
Ouch. But anyway, we are going to congratulate Bonnie Barkswell, though, who makes her way into pole position. Remkana Shibari in second with Mercy Moriste in third. I'll make the rundown to the rest of the field just in case. As Komanui Miel 4th, Triggerfish 5th. Get it? Taiga Toragami 6th with Rikaga Kokone 7th. Lumi Yukime 8th. Taring Hu 9th with Ruby Runehart in the top 10. Plane Hoshikuzu in 11th. Steria 12th. Mia Melania in 13th place. And then going down to 14th. Stam Omo Amoria Nikki raced Impact. There's a rising Mayfei and Mivi Ivory making the top 20. And then Rara Rokora with Kiri Kilovolt finally making the race again. Chase Pika 23rd with Sarah Lucera 24th. Poco Raccoon 25th with Kai Saikota in 26th. And going to the last drivers on the grid. We are just going to check on to how it works here. 27 on back. It's going to be... It's going to be Utami Hime Mochizuki with Meimi Mayoko in 28th, Sabaton in 29th, Irie Virid is 30th, Roa Artos in 34th, with Snoozy 32nd, Nova Aokami 33rd, Terra 404 in 34th, Akagaki Koa 35th, and Tomomi Toraya make herself comfortable in the last qualifying spot in 36th place.
Yes, just I need to check the points for a bit here. Snoozy finally qualifies for a race, but not Shibby Cotton Bum. So that's the first 5 races completely squandered for Shibby. But Snoozy is in though. Go ahead.
Yep, that's a good stuff. Anyway, good stuff for Snoozy too. That keeps me awake though. Anyways, looks like Corona has given an update. Looks like the F2007 mod that he has received has been way better than the 2009 mod that we have been developing so far. So that's good news for the FHWC fans.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, let's hit the race button.
Yes. All right. Bonnie Barkswell, your pole sitter for the second San Francisco race. And cue more chaos.
Alright, let's see what happens in turn 1. Bonnie Barkswell having a great start. Remkan Shibari not far behind as the drivers now get very tight there into the first chicane, which was the final chicane in the first race.
An early
Koa
error
and
what seems to be Volti, but has corrected herself a bit, albeit for a loss of a bunch of positions. Good start by Bonnie, followed by Remkan Shibari and Mercy.
Meanwhile, we just want to applaud the Bonnie Barkswell's run in at the start there as drivers hop onto the now uphill section here as they now try to make moves there. I saw essentially a driver into the wall there in the mid pack. I want to check on that.
Oh, that is...
Oh, there it is.
Nikki Ray? Nikki Ray?
That is a bit unfortunate. See, he tried to go down the inside and got way too eager on the throttle. Gets collected by Mochizuki and another car out there. Kiri Kilovo, unfortunately, had her neck in the wrong place and got paid for it.
Back to live action here. Bonnie with a decent start, followed by Rem and Mercy. Yeah, Nikki, just got hit very badly here.
And you can see here what happens if you don't have any front wings that are coming into the downhill section, especially when it is very abrupt and sudden. And that is, you saw the front actually lifting off. It almost turned into a flip. So that's something that we need to pay attention to in the coming minutes.
After one lap, it's gonna be Bonnie, Graham, and Mercy, your top three.
Speaking of which, just wanted to check the mid pack here, and everyone just going single file so far. Just wanted to take it easy at the moment. But already we see Mesmerizing and Mayfei actually trading blows between each other, as well as other drivers in the mid pack.
Nikki is definitely going to be in pit lane, I'm sure. Omo is stuck. Omo is stuck.
Oh yeah.
Volti and Kai Saikoda also just made it in pit lane somehow.
Tries to force up in, but the walls just don't cave in. Anyways, Bonnie Boxwell still leading the rest of the field. Now going on to that single file here. Every single one of these cars doing pretty okay at the moment. Meanwhile, just want to check on the mid pack. The mid pack has a lot of action though. I'll say this for sure.
Trying to see if there's any pack of drivers to follow here. Mayfei, who won the first San Francisco race, currently mid-pack in 16th.
And now Miss Rising also chasing Stimpack though for 14th. Looking at the pack of drivers in front, you just see that there's some interesting tips for taps for these drivers for position.
Taps in the chat for Volti, but I don't know. She's still in it, but certainly well outside the points currently. We do have a confirmation of a DNF for Chitamu Omo.
Not true, because he was literally off the track, tried to force himself back in, but to enter and then took too long for that. That's why you see her literally be in the behind the wall, as she's officially out of the race as Nikki Ray gets her car service back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I meant by service. Anyways, Bonnie Boxman's gap has closed down. Now we got Rem Kanashibari chasing her.
Everyone trying to drive single file racing, just trying to play things safe here early on.
Yeah, I mean, we might see the same pattern in the latter stages of the race, as just wanted to check on the situation here. Bonnie Maxwell still leading Rem Kanashibari by under a second. Triggerfish, meanwhile, currently down in 7th, now under pressure from Ruby Runehart. Absolutely trying to see if she can send it down the inside against Triggerfish on this very tricky straight.
The cars are literally popping up, I'm seeing. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, all four wheels off the ground. They're hopping like bunny rabbits.
Yeah, this is what I've been trying to tell you about the abrupt elevation changes. You need to have a more gradual elevation change to keep these cars grounded. And even with these wings here, it's not even possible to keep these cars glued to the ground. That just shows you. I mean, you really don't want to brake while you're in midair, though. Like what I told you earlier.
Was Axolotl back to dominating, it seems. What are the teams again? Oh yeah, Bonnie is in that team, so that's good to see right there. Bonnie to Globy trying to make it a third Globy win in 6 rounds so far. Go ahead.
And just want to remind everyone that's not total domination until these cars make up the top 5 or top 6. If I'm not mistaken, folks, Axolotl has around 6 cars in this team. So we might, if we want to see really good performances from them, like total domination, all of these 6 cars need to be in the top, or at least the top 15. That's for sure, if you want to call it dominance. Otherwise, it's just a one-car show. But still dominance, though, from a single car. Bonnie Boxwell car currently doing very well to hang on to this lead so far, as we are going to see Ari Veritas also try to climb herself back up into the top 20 after a mediocre qualifying session at best.
Trying to stay in the points if possible, just trying to avoid trouble. Who else may we follow here?
Watch out for Amoria. Amoria now under pressure against what looks like usually Kokone. Sorry, Kokone now trying to chase Amoria, and already we have cars slowing down, and because that's the triggerfish actually losing the rear, and I think someone was actually in the wall. Am I watching the replay?
Yeah, what's happened? What happened? Yeah, triggerfish basically had a bit of an issue.
Mostly because she literally lit up the rears though in the exit of the corner, put too much throttle in it. That put too much wheel spin on the cars, and that was already the front wing gone, and the rear wing as well. That's a bit of a. Yep, as you mentioned, these cars are hurt. That in one of them is Kokone. She's practically wounded.
Alan forced her into the boxes again.
And those are like the trenches there. But anyways, we are checking the situation again as the leaders now come uphill once again. Bonnie Buxwell, but continues to actually pull up a gap of now 2.3 seconds. The pace is ebbing and flowing, that's for sure.
The suspensions on those Lola B0200s certainly being tested with the cars just basically hopping up and down on this very hilly section here in San Fran.
All right. Speaking of which, just wanted to give everyone a bit of a 101 on essentially suspension. Suspension is essentially those springs that essentially absorb the impact of basically from the wheels to your steering wheel. And usually on bumpy surfaces you need a soft suspension, but to essentially give you a smoother ride. But a smoother suspension means you are going to have a late response from your car. You want a sharper response, have a stiffer suspension. Unfortunately, this also results in your car being very, very bumpy and being way more basically reacts way harsher to bumps. So you might need to watch out for that. And as Dak mentions about the suspensions being tested,
go ahead.
Speaking of which, you really need to have a soft suspension there, but this will come at the cost of making your car less responsive in the corners. So either you want a car that handles the bumps very well, or you want a car that is more responsive but is more prone to spinning out due to the stiffer suspension. That's something that you really need to strike a balance here, especially in the circuit where it's more on the softer side. But for now, if you have strong hands and you can handle the stiffer suspension on these types of tracks, go ahead. I hope your arms are not going to be too tired after the race.
You learn something new every day, and we have certainly learned more about the ideal suspension setup on different circuits, especially on circuits like this, where it can be very bumpy and have dramatic elevation changes right there.
I would say that in addition to suspension, you also need to have a very tight steering angle due to the tight amount of tight corners, but you have some faster corners here, so you might actually need to go for a higher steering lock rather than a low one. The higher steering lock means that you don't need to steer a lot to basically have the car steer well a lot. It works on very tight circuits, like for example the San Francisco track, but for basically fast flowing ones where you need more accuracy on those fast flowing corner sets, you need to have a low steering lock to essentially give the car less amount of response when you turn the car in the corner, but you have more refined steering angles. So you can see here Mayfair against Luceria 3 wide there on that corner. These drivers need to be careful.
They are pulling no punches here, especially on this tricky track surrounded by walls.
Yeah. As you can see, Amore now doing down the inside of Luceria. Nice to see some bounce from right here and then. Mayfair not doing very well on those curves.
Oh no!
You remember those? And look at where her front wing's gone. Nada.
and anything but Nada now, as she'll have to stop her for a while in pit lane before she gets back in. Yeah, by the way, during the talk about the suspension and setups here, we did lose Mamie Majoko DNF for some reason.
A bit of an another F moment for sure. As meanwhile, Bonnie is continuing a decent amount of control over Rem Kanachibari, who is around 1.6 seconds behind. Remember when I said about the pace ebbing and flowing? Let's see if the pace ebbs and flows in Bonnie's favor or the other competitors.
I feel like the gaps may have been reduced somewhat. Was there a missing wing or something? Nah. I thought I saw something, but I guess not. Neil in 4th and Taiga 5th.
Meanwhile, we are checking into some interesting battles here that we may want to pay attention to, especially in the mid pack where it gets very, very tightly packed like sardines, especially looking at Hysteria and Mayfei, who are getting very close to each other. May we see some mistakes being done? Remember, and anyways, I just wanted to go back to what I mentioned about the suspension here. Generally, you want the suspension to be on the softer side at this circuit, not just because of the uphill and downhill sides of the straights here, but also looking at these curves here, the changes in elevation from the track itself to those curbings can get very drastic. So if you want these cars to handle those curves better, you do need to soften up the suspension. But again, it comes at the cost of essentially making a car less responsive. And of course, you can actually have an uneven suspension on both your fronts and the rears to see if you can get this understeer and oversteer effect. Again, this is part of trying to make your car set up for your driving style the best.
All right.
And speaking of gaps,
suspension knowledge here. Go ahead.
Speaking of which, Bonnie Barkswell's gap against Rem Kanashibari has opened up to 1.8 seconds. It was at 1.6, and based on our last available information, it was as much as 2.3 seconds, but now it's closed back up again.
Ooh.
The fish absolutely losing her fins, and by that I mean front wings. That's as a result of another collision with either a car or a wall. That's a very much an unfortunate sight to see as Triggerfish continues to drown herself against the rest of the field's Timpack, now making her way into another position as she has to begrudgingly go into the pits for repairs.
Bit of a touchy touch by Mivy, but she's still very much alive. Mayfei still
and kicking,
in the points.
For sure.
Yep.
Yep, Mayfei currently in 18th is going to do very well to essentially cushion herself. Triggerfish now having to get some refreshments, and by that I mean front wing repairs. Coming into the final few minutes of this race, we are coming into the final quarter. As we have noticed here, Kiri is not doing very fine in 26 after those repairs. Shabaltanya, meanwhile, lost her engine. And I do notice, though, that her front wing's gone and her rear wing's damaged. So Shabaltanya not enjoying this moment.
The casualties, not as many in this counterclockwise layout, but they are certainly slowly coming in.
So anyways, now we're coming to the final 5 minutes of this race. Bonnie Barkswell doing very good job of getting the gaps back up. It's now 2 seconds between first and second. And looking at the rest of the field, Mr. Rising against Rara Rokora on a potential battle for 11th place. Taringu, meanwhile, doing a very good job inside the top 10. Speaking of which, Taringu has been anonymous though from the last season of Corpo, based on my most recent memory. But now we get to see her finally flexing her stripes of sorts.
I guess you say a Tyrion who is having a great run so far in San Fran.
Oh my gosh, is she named Tony who?
That was supposed to play a sound effect. There it is. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure though. Maybe her name is still Taring Who, but what if her brother is named Tony Who?
Boy, that would be a. Boy, that would be a really crazy. I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
Revelation. Anyways,
suppose, yeah.
And speaking of which, Messi Modiste is still remaining against, keeping a gap against Ram Kanashibari in case anything happens though to Bonnie Barkswell, who has been dominating this race from start until this moment. I won't jinx about what's going to happen to her in the next 3 minutes or so, but let's just say that she's having a very good race at the moment, and she still needs to keep herself in position to win this. Just needs to keep her car in the right position. Just want to know what cars are going to be in front of her. I think it's going to be Kiri, who is just ahead of I'm not sure who is literally ahead of the leader. I'm not sure about the positioning of the cars just yet.
Yeah, no one I can see in the track map immediately ahead of her. She's just by herself. Let's see. It's at 32. Capone is the nearest car ahead of Bonnie, but still a distance far ahead.
Looks like we are going to be seeing all of the finishers be on the lead lap as they are getting very close to the finish. Speaking of battles, I just wanted, actually, I lied. Nikki Ray is in 33rd, 1 lap down.
Time slowly ticking away. Expect one more lap after this, with Bonnie just keeping her lead intact, running into no issues all throughout.
And also opening
race.
Also opening the gap though against Rem Kaneshibari. I think her gaps have just nearly went into 3 seconds though over Rem. And right now Bonnie is doing an amazing job so far. I'm not sure. Oh dear, Flair fangirling for Ina again on Twitter.
Wow.
And water is wet.
Yeah.
Anyways, just wanted to check again. Bonnie is now opening the gap against Rem Kashibari. It's now back up to 2.8 seconds, but now we get to see what had happened there to Mercy Modiste. She was
You're breaking up.
Taken away from Rem.
You are breaking up a bit with that interesting call.
Yeah. Anyways, Mercy Modiste, as I mentioned before, Mercy Modiste is actually trying to get very close to Ren Karashibari, who is actually losing touch a bit more against Bonnie Barkswell. I think it's almost going to be a guaranteed window from Bonnie as the final lap is about to go.
White flag is waved for Bonnie.
And watch out though for Mercy. She's going to give no mercy though from Rem. And right now, Rem is going to try her best to keep herself relevant. We are going to go on board with the Mercy car number 03. Of course, Mercy Modiste, part of the VA, which is essentially short for V Allure. As you not get to see though, we'll see if she's able to find a way in the exit of these corners to get very close to Rem for another move. But all Rem needs to do is to just be slightly faster than Mercy on this lap.
I think they're both more or less running the same speed. Mercy just trying to get close to Rem, but Rem is still a bit too far out. Yeah, I saw on Twitter, Inasake. We have Morizakura, Liquor, and then now we have Inasake.
I just want to add one more thing. Inasake is also wet, and I hope your liver hangs on to it.
Yeah, please drink responsibly, fellas, as we come down to the finish here.
Bonnie Maxwell, though, gotta give credit to her. She essentially kept herself in it, and she has done an absolutely amazing job of keeping that car in the lead for all of the race, though. I don't know if she can grab the fastest lap, but I think she's gonna grab the triple.
He is going to get the victory here and get the full 101 points. It's Bonnie Barkswell winning on the San Francisco B layout for another Globy win. Congrats to Bonnie.
Well, it's a great result, though, from the Globy folks, as Remilian F is manages to hang on against Mercy Matiste for second place.
Remilian F is Rem Kanashibari.
Oh, sorry. They both have Ram in their names, but anyways, Ram Kanashibari hangs on to Mercy Matiste for third, with only 3 seconds between the two. Anyways, speaking of which, fourth place, though.
It's Taiga Toragami with another, yeah. Is she a tiger? I don't know. The result for her, and Fuminoi Miel 5th.
And also, just wanted to point out as well, 6th place on back as the drivers are about to finish the race here. Lumi in 6th place, and then we also have 7th place, 8, 9, 10. Anyways, we are just gonna check Mayfei, the previous race winner, currently down in 17th.
17th, and rest of the fields here.
And I think, yeah. So we are just going to officially conclude this race. Triggerfish yet to cross the line, currently down in the 26th place, and then Koa in 27th. Alkami in 28th. Beard is 29th, and Kokone in 30th place. I'm not sure what happened to It looks like she lost her front wing.
Yeah, earlier.
Very unfortunate. And also Kaisai Koda as well.
Yeah, both will not score, so we'll just fast forward and wrap up. And
anyways, we are just going.
Yes.
All right. So I'm just going to record the. We're not exactly record the results, but also just going to run down on the results. Just want to check on the winner, Bonnie Barkswell. Anyways, Bonnie Barkswell, congratulations to her for scoring what has been an amazing race so far. Can we check her in more detail? Just want to see if she has the fastest lap or not. Let's just imagine that she does have a fastest lap, because you can see here, 150.77, or rather 150.142 on the final lap. I think she does have the fastest lap. Sorry, no, I don't think she has the fastest lap. But I would say this though, Bonnie Barkswell with the pole position, led every single lap at winning. She has secured a triple, and that's going to be a record for the record books. Rem Kanashibari 2nd, Mercy 3rd, Taiga 4th, Kumamoi Miel 5th, Yukime 6th, Ruby Runehart 7th, Planet Hoshikozu 8th, Mia Melania 9th, and Haring Hu in the top 10. Mesmerizing in 11th with Rara Kora 12th, Stimpak in 13th place. 14th is Mifi Ibori, Lucera 15th, Stereo 16th, Mayfei 17th, Kirishika 18th. With Tahime Mochizuki in 19th with Pokora-kun in the top 20. Kamami Toraya in 21st, with Nushichu 22nd, Roa Altos in 23rd, Terra 404 24th, Kirikilo 25th, Triggerfish 26th, and scrolling down to the last finishers, we are going to go to the bottom 10. We are going to check on to Akugaki Koa in 27th, Nova Alkami 28th, Irie Verdis 29th, and then you get Rika Kokone in 30th, Kaisai Kora 31st, Amore 32nd, Nikiri 33rd, Shableton 34th, Mimi Mayoko in 35th, and Shitamo Omo in 36th place. Now, with that out of the way, I think I might have to make a move on here to continue my journey down south. So I might have to leave at this point here, Dag. But what a crazy races that we have in San Francisco, though.
Yeah, two really fun races, and can't wait to see how it is for the race in Gateway coming up in a few minutes. Anyway, yeah, thanks for coming today, Adak.
Anyways, well, I'll see you in the next McDonald's, though. But Also, this is not sponsored, but anyways, so we'll see you in Gateway, an interesting oval where it looks like a mini Darlington. But anyways, we'll see you in the next stream. Take care, everyone, and enjoy your races.
Yes. Yes. All right. All right. Gonna lock in the points. I haven't done so yet. Haven't done so yet. Gonna check the points standings. Oh god, time is short. Time is short. We're gonna move on here. And that's all 36 in. That's all 36 in, luckily. 101 for Bonnie, because she won from pole. And the points as they stand currently, of all the drivers to currently lead the points standing, it's Lumi Ukime of Speciality JP, 190. Alias failed to qualify for 2 rounds in a row. She drops to 180. Well, she remains at 183. Drops to second. Third is Maybe Ivory with 178. Taiga Toragami, fourth with 154. And Bonnie Barkswell moves into the top 5 with 152 points. All right. So we are going to head on over to Madison, Illinois for round 6, taking place at World Wide Technology Raceway near St. Louis. From the Golden Gates to the Gateway Arch. See you on a few minutes for more CorpoCar action. And we're back here. So, for the 11th billionth time this year, we're going to be heading over to World Wide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois. 1.25 mile, egg-shaped, low-banked oval. First 2 turns banked 11 degree, turn 3 and 4 banked 9 degree. And the first 2 turns are smaller than the other 2 turns. I'm going to do a rolling start, and we're going to try something silly. See if that does anything. And we're gonna try a nighttime race and see if it breaks R factor or what have you not. We're gonna fudge around and find out for this round. Load. Alright, so let's have a look at the track preview today, hopefully. We're gonna follow along with the managerial talent of Glitch Stars and Stimpack. Speaking of Glitch Stars, the announcement coming up very shortly. Pretty sure they may have poached a new talent, as I've already mentioned, like last night. And blame the spoiler alert that OffKai may have unintentionally leaked. So yeah, Rosebud was Orson Welles' sled. Bruce Willis's character was dead all along in that one film. And of course, there's a matter of Snape killing Dumbledore, but everyone knows about that. And, yeah. Anyway, let's just set the break for this race, I suppose. So we can get this over with. I don't want to miss the start of the game show marathon live stream. And many drivers failed to record times, including Shibby Cotton Bum. Are you kidding me? Ugh. Six DNQs for Shibby Cotton Bum to open up the series. You just hate to see that. She's gonna remain scoreless, heading to, like, tomorrow's stream, anyway. Do we have Curse? Not seemingly. Alias Unknown! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. A complete shutout today for Alias. Okay, Snoozy barely makes the cut. Well, speaking of not having a good start to her title defense season, Triggerfish didn't make it. Leah, Alias, Chitamu, Azusa, Emi, and Plane. And did I set the number of laps right? I'm pretty sure I did set it at what's supposed to be 50 laps. I want to make sure. Well, I'm pretty sure I have done so. So, yeah. Let's set the grid. Kumanoi Miel of Globy. Starting off at pole. Is this her first or second podium? That's her first. I mean pole. That's her first pole of the month. Mia Melania in second, and then we have Poco, and oh shit! I just realized something. I just realized something. Did I set rolling? And exhale. I did set rolling. Okay, so this grid stands whether you like it or not. Rara, Hysteria, Misma, Taiga, Kiri, Bonnie, Mivi, Mercy, Irie, Rina Stempak Tomomi, Rem Perry Mayfei, Kai Terran Shabeltanya, Tomoe Amoria Daisy, Minya Goro Koni, Lumiroa Coma, Terra Reina Admira, Nikki Eliza Utahime, and finally Kokone Sarah Maven Snoozy. So the grid is set up. We will attempt to race under the lights here for 50 laps of action. So let's fudge around and find out, see if we can last a whole entire race without our factor crashing. Here we go. All right. We are going to fast forward a bit just to get the grid established. 40 cars on the track ready to go here. So we have Mia, and Poco, and Rara, and Hysteria, and Misma, and 34 more cars as the safety car will come in, and let's see what happens here in this inexplicable nighttime setting. World Wide Technology Raceway, Round 6, the second of 5 oval races this month. And here goes absolutely nothing. Great, the frame rate doesn't seem great here. Can our factory even handle the pressure of this race? So I have Miel, Poco, and Rara after one. Beat of the rising sun while this race is taking place at night. Yeah, I'm gonna try out a night race because the next real-life IndyCar race is set to be a nighttime race at this very track. Irie in 9th, Volti 8th, Volti won at Kentucky in surprising fashion considering Formula One does not race on ovals. And here she is getting some oval experience in CorpoCar, doing pretty darn well here in the top 10. See, do we have any drivers having issues? Nobody. As of yet, everyone is still in the lead lap. Drivers going single file. Yeah, this style of racing completely different from the pack racing we saw at Kentucky. This is more proper racing we're seeing here. Yeah, mostly single file. To 43. Poco right behind Meal. Idle against Globy. Rara Rokoro trying to catch up to these two. Not much in the way of overtakes, though. Yeah, historically on this track, it's the outer lines on turns 3 and 4 in which overtakes are most likely to occur. Most likely turn 4, I suppose. But as of current, nothing as of yet. Seeing a bit of a gap between 3rd and 4th here. Around 2.5 seconds. Thought I saw a bit of a drop in positioning for some of these drivers. Through 10. This is lap 11. Everyone here holding on fine. Irie trying to approach Volti. There's also Bonnie, also in the top 10, fresh off of her San Francisco B win. And Irie does overtake Volti to move up to 8th. Bonnie on the move. Inside line, really? Bonnie passes Volti on the inside line of turn 3/4. Nice move by Bonnie right here. Meanwhile, it's still an all-brave group top 3, all from different branches. Globy, Idol, and Vtuber, Miel, Poco, and Rara. While the action is still going, I need to update the medal counts a bit. Bonnie, Rem, and Mercy, top 3 at San Fran after starting in those same positions, oddly enough. So, Bonnie, where is Rem? It's her first World's Podium, Rem Kanashibari. And Mercy. I can find her name. That's another 3rd place finish for her. The count looks correctamundo, so let's update here. So, Bonnie and Rem and Mercy. So, after that brief interlude, what has happened so far? Not much. Here is the current points leader, Lumi Ukime, struggling to try to remain in the points for this race. Not easy for her to do so, though. Interestingly enough, the racing here is cleaner than in the San Francisco races. I don't see anybody having any issues as of yet. Everyone's still doing fine. Another battle between Volty and Irie, and Kirikilovolt takes over the 8th spot from Irie. Someone's asking about Roa. Doing pretty good, currently 15th. We're a little over 22 laps in as Kuminui Mill is starting to have a look at some traffic ahead of her. More bunched up toward the rear of the pack, but more spread out toward the front. Camille is getting even closer now to the traffic. Halfway through this race is now considered official. I see the templates for the F2007 are looking easier to manage than the Williams. 3 wide toward the back. Why can't we have such a situation towards the front of the field? Miel has to sidestep these cars. But they're being blocked by Nikki and almost Kobo. Yeah, I mean Koma. Kobo. That's someone from Hololive ID. Names are hard, boys and girls. Battle for second now between Rara and Poco, and Rara takes over P2 for the time being, but Poco. Oh, now there's the situation. Now there's a situation that makes more sense. The outside line being faster than the inside line, and Rara keeps her second place position for the time being, as we will soon come down to 20 laps. Traffic, trying not to be too much of a burden for Neil. Nikki blocking the way for Rara. Rara hates what she's seeing. Just no way to get past Nikki. Just trying to push her to the side. Have to go a bit faster than Nikki. There we go. Rara gets out of Nikki Ray's way. Now Emil is right ahead of Rara. Just ahead of Rara. Well, Poco just entered the photo. That's interesting. Rara just says, no. I'm trying to go after Kumano Emil right there. Just, I don't want to be distracted right now. $16 to go. Emil blocks the inside line. Rara on the backstretch though, side by side for the lead. Rara slightly faster than Emil. And Rara Rakora couldn't complete the overtake. Emil remains ahead. Oh, valiant effort for Rara. Mia Melania overtakes Poco for third. The mishmash of lapped cars and lead cars are certainly scrambling things up in the top positions. Irie Viridis, nothing doing, attempting to get past Volti. Down to 13 laps we go. Amazingly, all 40 cars are still in it. Comes Rara, trying to increase her speed, trying to get close to Miel. And nothing doing. Mia, now behind Rara. It's gonna move on here. Rara blocks Mia's way. Again, inside line, not the way to go. So we come down to 10 laps here at Gateway. Rara dealing with a car in the way. Nothing doing here. Mia is now a distance behind Rara. Eight to go. Down to 7. Umanui is doing a good job trying to stay ahead. I think it has been a while since we last got a win from pole on an oval. Geez, I can't remember the last time we had such a result in any of the BTRP series. Whether that be IndyCar, Lights, BTFs, or here. 5 to go. Rah-rah. Went to go past Homa and still couldn't do so. Again, this is not going to work. Inside line on turn 4. Mia. Being blocked by Rara. Two to go, 2.5 miles left of racing here in this round 6. And Miel goes past yet another car. So it's going to be another dominant performance start to finish for a Globy driver, it looks like, as the white flag is waved for Kumanui Miel. Basically unchallenged throughout the race, and it's another win from pole here. That's gonna do it. Kumanui Miel wins in Gateway. Congrats. Another win for Globy this month. That's 4 out of 6 here. Rara Gokora takes home second, and Mia Melania swipes the P3 slot, the last podium slot. But here is your race winner here, Kumanui Miel, as she rudely bumps into Mayfei's car. But the race is over anyway. And Tahime having a hard time boxing. Mayfei. Apparently has one more lap to go through. Well, great, we're over. This race is over already. So let's lock in the podium and have a bit of time before the Game Show Marathon stream gets underway. So, Miel, Rara, and Mia. Mia, right here, another 3rd place for her. And we're gonna lock in the points and wrap up for today. So, Miel, Rara, Mia, Poco, Hysteria, Misma, Irie, Kiri, Stimpak, and Taiga, your top 10. And then Kai, and then Bonnie. Again, the curse is avoided. Luckily. Mivi, and then Mercy. Roa, Harry, Tomomi, Terra, Ram, Kuni, Arena, Amoria, Tomoe. Tearing, Reina, Tanya. Lumi with a low finish of 27th. Admira, Goro, Eliza, Daisy. Yeah, that's who top 30 scores. Daisy misses out on the points. Minya, Snoozy, just too snoozy to score. And then Kokone. Sarah didn't score. Meifei doesn't score here. And then we have Utahime, Koma, Maeve, and Nikki. Also getting goose eggs. So yeah, 101 for Meal, and yeah. Yeah, confirm the names look right. Okay. Right. And the rest of the field. And that's all 40 in, and let's have a look at the points standings as we will soon wrap up here. So your top 5 as it stands, it's Kuminoi Meal now taking over as the points leader with 214 points. Second is Mibi Ivory of VNU with 204. Lumi Yukime 194. And then Taiga with 186. 168, 186. And Misma. Well, no, it's not Misma. It's, yeah, I'm seeing a tie for points. It's Alias. Wish I had the tiebreaker. 183 points and 1 win over Misma, who is second. No, sixth. And who has a second place finish at best, while Alias has a win. Dag moment. Okay, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna go get ready to watch the game show marathon and also donate to charity for that live stream. And don't forget, and we're gonna come back tomorrow at I suppose 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern as we have a look at the schedule. A bit loud. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna have races in South Korea, in the U.S., United States, and I think Germany as well. We're going to Yeongnam, the South Korea International Circuit, and then we're going to have an oval race at Michigan International Speedway, and then a race at the Sachsenring. That's coming up tomorrow here on the VTRP channel. So congrats to Mayfei, Bonnie, and Neil, your race winners for today. There's going to be more to come as we reach the midway point of CorpoCar World Series Season 7. So have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow for more CorpoCar World Series Season 7 action. And don't forget about the signups for the VGTC. Let's see how many signups we can get here. Alright, take care everyone, have a good Saturday. See you tomorrow for more CorpoCar action. Otodag!